What's up folks, it's Jay and I've been fortunate enough to hit kind of a jackpot and make over 7 figures on Etsy, and now I'm hitting the reset button and starting over from scratch. Why? For 2 reasons. To prove that this can be done, and more importantly, to be able to donate some of the profits to Fragments of Hope Belize. They're a group who are tirelessly trying to preserve and protect the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, which is the largest living reef in the world. It stretches from Mexico all the way down to Honduras. Starting from scratch again reminded me just how challenging it can be to hit that first milestone of 100 sales on Etsy and maintain consistent daily sales. Honestly, the idea of opening a new shop from the ground up wasn't something I was really eager about, but let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 strategies that have helped me surpass the 100 sales mark on multiple occasions. By the time we wrap up this video, you'll have a solid grasp on these strategies and how you can implement them in your shop regardless of niche or product you're dealing with. Also, if you find any part of this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And just so we're clear, I'm not trying to sell you anything here. My goal is just to pass on some knowledge that could help you accelerate your business and hopefully see those sales start to pile up a little bit quicker. Tip number 1, think like a shopper. Let's dive straight into something that might seem super obvious, but is so often overlooked. It's understanding your store from a buyer's perspective. This just isn't fluffy advice. It's the real deal for making your shop a hit. Imagine yourself in the shoes of someone browsing your listings. Your aim is to make every visitor think, yes, this is exactly where I need to be. When you're just starting, convincing folks to take a leap of faith on your new store can feel like an uphill battle. Like imagine you went to get your car repaired, but the shop nearby had no signage, no other customers, and they even told you that they're brand new. How or why would you trust them? Now, this is something I say all the time in my shop audits too. You need to fill out every part of your shop to build trust and show potential customers that you're serious about your business. Getting past the just open vibe meant my shop had to look like it's been part of the Etsy marketplace for ages. Having only a handful of listings might as well be a big neon sign that says testing the waters or I'm new. What you want is at least 20 listings to show that you're a serious business. 24 or 28 is even better. It fills out that first page of your shop so that it doesn't look sparse. But do what you can while making good listings and don't rush it. It's not just about quantity, it's about sending a clear signal that you're a reliable and trustworthy place to shop. Now here's a slice of advice that might seem a bit counterintuitive. Lean towards using mock-ups that have the same look and feel as those from the top shops on Etsy. Sounds like you just faded into the background, right? But it's actually a smart move. It's all about making your shop feel instantly familiar to Etsy's regular shoppers. The spin here is that while the mock-up style feels right at home on Etsy, it's your unique designs that'll make people stop and take notice. The standard mock-ups from many print-on-demand providers can be a little bit ugly. You can get lots of great mock-ups right on Etsy too. Using mock-ups that resonate gives your shop an instant credibility boost. But it's your creativity and unique designs that'll really make your listing shine. Adopting this mix of blending in with the right style of mock-ups while standing out with your unique designs that are focused on what buyers actually want has really made the road less bumpy from day one. It's about nailing that balance where you fit right into the Etsy community, but also highlight what makes your shop unique. By doing this, I've not only built a strong foundation for my shops, but I've also carved out my own niche in the craziness that is Etsy. Why reviews are gold. Think about how you shop on Amazon. You look at the reviews, right? Not how many sales that seller has. That realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Reviews are the real MVPs here. When folks see that others not only bought your stuff, but also loved it enough to shout it out online, that's where the magic happens. A product page without any reviews, especially with that glaring 0, can be a major turnoff. It's like walking into a tattoo shop and having the artist say you're the very first customer. Awkward. Back in the day, I was all about hitting that first 10 or 20 or even 100 sales mark, thinking that was the ticket to success. But here's a hard truth I learned. Those first 10 reviews are priceless. They're way more impactful than just racking up sales. It's all about that vibe you give off. When people can see that others have bought, received, and raved about your products, it builds trust. People want to see that others have spent money and are happy before they spend money. Without social proof, it's tough to convince new shoppers to take a plunge. So here's another piece of friendly advice. In the beginning, get chatting with every customer. Reach out and ask them for a review. This isn't just about gathering positive feedback. It's about steering clear of those early negative reviews that can really submarine a shop's reputation and make it hard to get those star seller badges. And here's a little pro tip from me to you. For every 10 sales, you usually get 1 review. Want to bump those numbers up? When a customer's order is confirmed as delivered, drop them a thank you note and throw in a little something extra like a coupon for 20% off or at least enough to cover your shipping cost. Encourage them to share their thoughts if they like the product. It not only ups your review game, but catapults your products into the top of search results and shines a light on your shop. Nailing those early days with positive customer reviews can be an absolute game changer, turning potential browsers into actual buyers. Put in the work and make every interaction count, and watch as your shop stats start to climb. Now, I'm sure you probably heard some people say it's a good idea to have your friends and family buy stuff from your shop in the beginning, just so they can leave great reviews. But honestly, that's a terrible way to go. When you put up a new product and it suddenly gets a bunch of reviews, sure, it might jump to the top of searches, but customers, they can tell what something's up with reviews that just seem a little too perfect. And getting reviews from people you know can actually do more harm than good for your shop. Plus, gaming the system and selling to friends just for the sole purpose of faking your way to good reviews just isn't shady. It's actually against the rules on Etsy. You really don't want to violate their terms of service and get booted from the platform before you even make your 10th sale, right? Instead, just stick to getting feedback the honest way. Whenever somebody buys from you, just reach out and ask them how it went. Here's a little script you can use when asking customers for their thoughts. Hi there, I just wanted to thank you so much for supporting small business and my new Etsy shop. I wanted to see if there's anything I could have done better for next time to get a 5-star review. I'm always looking for ways to improve, so any feedback is appreciated. Thanks again so much. Here's a 20% off coupon code for your next purchase. This way, you're not only getting valuable insights on how to make your shop better, but you're also making customers feel valued and giving them a reason to come back. Then, reply to the reviews. Thank your customers for leaving them and for supporting small business. These replies are not for the customer who left you the review. They're for the new potential customers to see how appreciative and connected to the process you actually are. It's all about building trust and a good reputation, and there's no better way to do that than with genuine feedback. Tip number 2 is back to basics works. Okay, you probably heard stick to the basics more times than you can count, right? Probably a million times. But the thing is, it actually works, no matter what you're selling on Etsy. It works for print on demand, digital stuff, handmade goods, whatever you can think of, it works. There's 3 basic biggies that can really set you apart. Awesome photos, the right keywords, and killer customer service. Keywords are, well, key. Seriously though, if your keywords are off, it's like you're invisible. But finding the right ones isn't rocket surgery, and most people tend to really overthink this. Yeah, there's tools out there that can definitely help consolidate some keyword data for you, but most people just end up going down some SEO rabbit holes and end up with information overload because they don't know what to do with all the data. All you really have to do is just take a look at what's working for others selling stuff similar to yours. Scope out the top listings and see what words they're using. Don't just copy them word for word or anything though. Use them as inspiration to create your own catchy titles with keywords that are actually relevant to your niche and to your design. Don't just stuff your titles with random words you see in people's listings if they don't make sense for your list. Etsy gives you 140 characters for the title and 13 tags to play with, so make every single bit of the keyword real estate count. Stuck on what words to use? Just take a peek at shops that are killing it and see what they're doing, because success leaves clues. Pics that pop. You know how they say a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, on Etsy, it's worth 1,000 clicks. The listing images you use are what pull people in and convince them to buy. And getting great photos doesn't have to cost a fortune either. You can find awesome mockups on Etsy that let you show off your items in a professional way, and you can keep using them by swapping out the design. It's also a smart move that big sellers do to make their shops continue to look cohesive and consistent. Next level customer service. Now here's where you can really shine. Go all out with how you treat your customers, and those 5-star reviews will start piling up. Be quick to reply, be super friendly, and treat everyone like they're your first ever customer. This will also coincidentally get you Etsy Star Seller badges, which again builds trust and tells people that you're just generally a good business person. This kind of top-notch service is what makes the big sellers stand out, and it'll help you hit those milestones faster than you think. Real success speaks volumes, and I've seen shops in just about every category hit it big by sticking with these 3 simple basics. I mean, look at signature shirts and crazy dog tees, for example. Everyone who sells t-shirts knows who these guys are. They've been at it for ages, like 15 years and 12 years each, and they're still making bank with their funny tees. They keep things fresh with new designs, smart and relevant keywords, and awesome listing photos. Just goes to show that sticking to the simple stuff like solid product shots, smart SEO, and amazing customer care is still the best way to make it big on Etsy. Tip number 3 is to let the Etsy shoppers come to you. You know a saying, if you build it, they will come, from that 80s movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner? Well, it turns out there's a lot of truth to that on Etsy too, not just in cornfield baseball diamonds. Think about it. Etsy's already drawing in literal millions of shoppers looking to buy cool stuff every single day. Your job is to just snag a tiny little bit of that traffic for your own shop. In the beginning, for sure, I was all over the place trying to pull people in with ads on Facebook, Instagram, and even Google. There was no TikTok yet, but I probably would have tried there too. I was trying to get as many sales as my friend was getting every single day and thought ads were king because obviously my listings were awesome, right? I was so wrong. Here's the thing, why not just focus on creating a complete shop with good designs that people actually want and great looking listings for the people who are already on Etsy ready to buy. Here's the thing with Etsy, they're pros at matching what you're selling with the people who want to buy it. When I figured out my listings were kind of meh, I stopped throwing money at ads and doubled down on fixing what I had to offer. More stuff in the shop meant more chances for sales. And man, by the time I filled up my shop with the first 30 or 35 listings, my new stuff was looking 1,000 times better than the early days. The designs were solid, but there were so many other parts to a good listing that I was totally ignoring, like listing photos and having at least half decent SEO. Etsy shoppers are already in the mood to buy, so just having your things out there means you're in the game. Running ads might seem like a shortcut, but it's not the same as learning how to pull in those organic, soon to be, hopefully, return customers. And don't forget that ads eat into your profit. Plus, they can be a serious emotional roller coaster, especially when you're spending without seeing results right away. Everyone wants those dopamine hits, and not seeing your views go up can get pretty depressing pretty quickly, even though views aren't even making you money. To explain, dopamine and serotonin are molecules that send signals throughout your body. These chemicals affect how we feel. When dopamine is released in our brain, we feel a sense of temporary pleasure. Serotonin, while similar to dopamine, creates more of a long-lasting feeling of happiness or well-being that you can kind of get, by doing regular things like exercise, being in nature, or meditating. But dopamine is the reward chemical. It's the pleasure boost we get from likes on a post, binge watching Netflix, sugar, porn, TikTok, and video games. But if you starve yourself of all the regular useless daily dopamine hits, you start to be able to focus on the longer game and can then work on your business for longer periods at a time without getting distracted. I never understood how my dad could find his 9-to-5 so fulfilling when I always wanted so much more out of life. Well, he had none of those surface distractions that we all have too many of today. So he got his dopamine by having a fulfilling day at work without distractions, and he took pride in doing what he did well. So put your phone on airplane mode, turn off the alerts. Bonus points if you can leave it in another room. You won't miss anything in a 3-hour time block until you check it next. Side note here is to also stop checking your stats every single day. They're usually a couple days behind anyway, which is also why I suggest checking on a monthly basis if you do insist on checking. So anyway, that's when I decided to switch gears and act as if my shop was already successful. That meant eliminating distractions, checking in daily, keeping on top of messages from customers, always adding new products, and basically treating it like a real business and showing up to work every day. Believe it or not, this is when I started making things happen. So here's my advice. Take a step back from pushing so hard with ads and trust in your ability to get shit done and attract buyers. Showing yourself that you can trust yourself will give you that dopamine dose and keep you focused on growing your shop long term. I mean, Etsy's already doing most of the legwork by bringing potential buyers to your shop. Your job is to keep your shop looking its best, make sure your products are irresistible and actually what people want, and treat every customer like they're your first. Stick to this and watch as sales naturally start rolling in. So let's recap real quick. Think like a customer and build your shop into something whole that isn't missing things here and there. Etsy already brings in millions of shoppers, so if you're lathering, rinsing, and repeating the 3 basics of photos, SEO, and awesome customer service, your customers will find you. They'll buy, they'll leave 5-star reviews because you gave them 5-star customer service, and your listings will shoot up in the search results. Keep at it and your sales will start small and then grow big. First 10, then 20, then 100, and even 1,000 sales. Please leave me a comment for the YouTube algorithm and let me know what you think.